Hello Lisa, I hope this video finds you well. I'm doing my presentation for verbal communication that is meant to be for tomorrow, but I'm doing my online submission. Okay, so I have the presentation right in front of me, and I'll be talking to the camera like it's the audience. Okay. Hello everybody, my name is Bagas, and I'll be talking about verbal communication. So, an introduction to verbal communication. So my definition, verbal communication is how one expresses their thoughts or ideas by way of speech. So like talking one-on-one with a person, that's a type of verbal communication. How one talks to a large group of people, it's also a type of verbal communication. So according to CTA training specialists, verbal communication is a sharing of information between a sender and a receiver by way of speech. So very similar to my definition. So what a sender is the person who has the information and is sending it to another receiver. So the information they might have is that we need to clean the trash out, for example, and the receiver, their job is to receive the message and actually either complete it or tell another person. But this is the way verbal communication works. So how one measures how good a sender and receiver is, a sender is the ability to, the sender that has the ability to get asked a question and then being able to in a quicker time and just answer the question. Like that, they have to have a full understanding of the information that they have to give to the receiver, and to measure how well a receiver receives information is by how well they can complete their tasks or regurgitate the information given by the sender. Yeah. So the importance of verbal communication, verbal communication is very important in the hospitality industry, as the hospitality industry is customer centered, it's customer based. Like everything a worker does in the hospitality industry is towards a customer satisfaction. So the customer service and hospitality industry, according to Samosuk, I'm not able to pronounce the last name. She's an industry legend. She's been working over 25 years, and her thoughts are the hospitality industry is also known as the service industry. In order to provide service to customers, there has to be communication. This is important. This is very imperative, verbal communication. So talking to customers, just the interpersonal communication that happens. So like, for example, someone asking for wine. So one might ask, "Oh, can you recommend me a wine with this food," for example. And then the receiver, that is your job. You have to be able to receive the information and with that information you have to give them a response. So verbal communication is very vital in the hospitality industry. So I saw at the MF, well, I'm not too sure how to pronounce it, but an organization about these types of verbal communication. I would like to share it. So interpersonal communication. So this form of communication is extremely private and restricted to ourselves. It includes the silent conversations we have with ourselves, wherein we juggle roles between the sender and receiver who are processing our thoughts and actions. This process of communication, when analyzed, can either be conveyed verbally or to someone or stay confined as thoughts. So by what this means is, the little head we have in our heads, the little voice in our heads. It's it's the way we create ideas and thoughts. This is what we keep to ourselves. This is the communication within ourselves. Secondly, there's interpersonal communication. This form of communication takes place between two individuals and is thus one-on-one conversation, like I said before. Here, two individuals involved will swap their roles of sender and receiver in order to communicate in a clearer manner. So, as I said before, interpersonal communication is between two people, and they both switch sender and receiver. This is both verbal communication. This is what they have to do to better improve themselves. And number 3, small group communication. So, This type of communication can take place only when there are more than two people involved. Here, the number of people will be small enough to allow each participant to interact and converse with the rest. Press conferences, board meetings, and team meetings are examples of group communication, unless a specific issue is being discussed. Small group discussions can become chaotic and difficult to interpret by everybody. This lag in understanding information completely can result in miscommunication. So this is extremely hard for some people. Small group communication. It's one that you have to grab the attention of a group of people, but also the attention, the retention of attention. You could say, just keeping their focus onto you. That is extremely difficult for some. Even for me, it's quite difficult. And to improve on that, you just have to practice. Just through experience is how you get better at it. Number 4, public communication. This is a type of communication taking place when one individual addresses a large gathering of people. Election campaigns and public speeches are an example of this type of communication. In such cases, there is usually a single sender of information and several receivers who are being addressed. This is exactly what we're doing. I'm the one single sender of information, the information of verbal communication, and the receivers, you guys, who are being addressed. So that was the 4 type of verbal communication. That was from the organization that I wanted to share with you, because I felt like that was very important and very well said. Okay, so how we can be effective communicators. This is extremely important in the hospitality industry, and this is how we get better as an individual and as a worker in the hospitality industry. So there are 3 elements to better improve our verbal communication skills. Delivery. So in delivery is how we send out our information. The tone of voice, the pitch, the volume, everything like that. That is the delivery. This is also important to grab this delivery is important to grab the attention of other people. If we're talking really slowly, or if we're talking really soft, it doesn't grab anyone's attention. So it's time and place. If you know like the time and place to deliver your information, that's crucial. That's what you have to figure out. The chosen information. So chosen information is fully understanding the information or the topic or the subject that you are talking about. There will be questions that will be asked to you, and you as a sender, to be an effective sender, you have to be able to dish out that answer. You have to do it instantly, because if not, like, your credibility is like you won't be as reliable as people think you are, and they won't listen as much as you would like. Reinforcement of the message. So if you have a message and then or message or information giving out, you have to be able to. You have to ask constantly, asking question if they understand, asking the audience if they understand. If so, this is to reinforce the message. So there are 2 quotes here. There is a need to expose the learners in the hospitality industry to real workplace requirements in terms of communication skills. So, Rahim, 2011, customer service expert, and interpersonal communication is a skill that is crucial to successful leaders. Found that most college graduates tend to be deficient in these skills when entering the business world. So this is just saying that there are many people in the hospitality industry not having the crucial verbal communication skills, and this is just by experience. For me, I worked in Thailand for 2.5 years. It's a retail job, and you're constantly talking with customer service, and often questions by customers to us, and I have to answer them. This is how we get better at this. It's just we have to get experience. We have to get a job with customer service or retail or anything related to hospitality, and you will get better. So this is a video. This video is a display of good communication skills, and that will goes for a minute. And yeah, so yeah, I'll leave it. I won't play the video because obviously, and then just if you're following me, the reference list is at the bottom. I hope that was that was good. that was the end of the presentation. Yeah. Thank you for listening. If you have any, let's say if you have any questions or like comments, just give me an email. Yeah. Thank you for listening.